Well, hi everyone, and welcome to the pal2tech show, the watch party for the Fujifilm Summit. I wanted to jump in here right before we started just to let you know, 9 times out of 10, I usually screw something up with audio, with the live stream controls, with the buttons. I'll lose something, I'll drop something, whatever. If, for whatever reason, the audio is out of sync, if there's a problem in seeing the Fujifilm event, I can't figure out how to do it. If that's the case, I will have a link in the description below the video where you can still be in the watch party, but you would be streaming down the Fujifilm watch party without having to go through myself trying to do it, during my thing. Wow, I gotta get going. In fact, I gotta jump in right now live and see you. This is so exciting. In fact, I don't even want to wait one more second. Let's Hi everyone, welcome to pal2tech. This is the pal2tech show number 2, episode 2. A very special evening we have planned for you. This is the Fujifilm Summit, live all over the world. People are joining us, and we're going to watch it together. We're going to have a lot of fun. Now, a couple of necessary things we need, okay? Number 1, most important, importantly I should say, all right? Make sure you have a beverage. Glass of water is fine, okay? This is better. But make sure you have we might make a toast. Now, a couple of housekeeping things that I want to go through. First off, can everybody hear me? Any problems with the audio? We should probably get it fixed now before it starts. Usually with my live streams, there's a 50-50 chance that something's going to go wrong. So we'll see. Toss of the coin. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope well. It has been one crazy week, which I will explain to you after the summit. Which reminds me, after the summit, feel free to stick around. I'm probably going to spend at least 15 to 20, maybe even 30 minutes, but probably no more than that, I got to be careful what I say here, doing a Q&A, okay, on something. All right? So you're going to probably want to stick around for that. I'm just saying. But yeah. Okay. And that will follow the summit directly. All right? Okay. Oh, man, I'm tired. Let's see who's here. Do we have... okay, the equipment's actually working. Do we have... boom. Okay, we got that cam. Do we have overhead? Yes, we do. Camera menu. Camera's not on, but that's okay. Are we ready on the Fuji? Boom. Okay, starting soon. Yeah. Okay, we got Gear Iguana ready to go. And if I happen to get any special guests that call in, Gear Iguana, you're just going to have to kind of go and we'll replace them there. All right. Hey, honestly, I think I'm starting to get this live stream stuff down. I didn't say that because the minute I say that, something's going to blow up. Okay, so let me see who's here. Let's see here. Okay, I don't see anything blowing up. You can hear me? Good. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We have a moment of silence. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to have a moment of silence. Someone's X-T3 camera died today, according to the comment. It no longer turns on. Okay. I assume you checked the battery. I mean, I'm just asking, right? I mean, you did, of course, you must have. It no longer turns on. Does it do anything? Does it make a noise? Does it start to kind of turn on and stop? You know, we got a lot of people here, and we may even have, in fact, I'm pretty sure we will have people from Fuji joining the stream, not telling you who they are. They're going to be lurking in the background, okay? So be respectful, please, because we all want more firmware updates, right? Be nice. Well, maybe we'll get some. So, okay, who is here? Jennifer Day, nice to see you. I'm going to roll this back and see who's here. Miles, awesome, awesome. Good. I'm really glad you're here. Oh, man, we got so many backstage people. Chris, woo. Oh, cool. Oh, man, my head is spinning. Wow. In fact, we're about 300 concurrent viewers right now. So these are always so much fun because I don't have to really plan an agenda and I can be a lot more relaxed. The normal live streams, I'm, planning it down. That's just how I am. I plan it down to the minute. So anyhow, it's been, as I said, a crazy week. I've been working on something and it was supposed to go live following this live stream. And it's taking a little bit longer than I thought. And I'll explain all of that once Fuji Summit is over. But when I say it's been a crazy week, and no joke, I am probably running on maybe 12 hours of sleep in the past 5 days. No joke. I mean, I don't think I've ever worked so hard and so nonstop on something. Okay. And we had a couple of other videos, right? I mean, you saw the videos. There was one of them where I was in the studio at 4:00 a.m. If you haven't seen that, don't watch it, actually. I need help on the YouTube channel. So go to the 4 a.m. video, start to watch it, and just click like, because, that helps the channel. But it's kind of weird. It takes you inside my mind at 4 a.m. in the morning when I'm overthinking how to film an opening shot. And it's like a place that I don't sometimes want to be, and sometimes I love being there. So any creative, anybody that does cinematography, actually anything, a poet would probably go through that, right? A musician. It's a curse almost of wanting to get something that you're being creative in and wanting to get that perfect, right? You know what I'm talking about. So, okay, let's look at the time. We are 12:23 a.m. We got to wake up here. We got to wake up. We are, let's see, who else is here? Now, I don't want to miss anybody from, okay, good. Let's see here. Let me go back and catch up. Boy, we've got a lot. Welcome to the Jones. Oh, okay, that's your name. Hi, welcome to the Jones. Nice to meet you. Someone named Donk. What is new? XT6. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Okay, Pete. Pete is here. Good. I'm glad Pete's here. Excellent. We've got, they're just coming in. Awesome. So, in a few minutes, we're going to know. Now, these live events are always fun because they're, how can I put this? They're not your normal. When I think of like product launches, I think of, Samsung, I think of Apple, where there's a lot of theatrics, okay, right? And sometimes with the Fuji events, they're somewhat more low key. And I do think part of that is cultural. They're mostly shot in Japan, and it's just a different vibe with the launch of some of these products. And I remember when it was the XH2S that was launched, I think it was the last one, and they were talking about it, but it was kind of like, we are pleased to launch the XH2 for you. It has a blah, blah, blah sense. come on, it's the XH2. You know what I mean? Let's crank up the energy a little bit. So we'll see how it is this year. But that's always a fun thing to kind of see how Fuji does it, because every big manufacturer does it differently. But Fuji really does it differently. But what's interesting about Fuji is if you ever go and you attend one of those things, like I went to one in New York City, they are absolutely drop dead the coolest people behind the camera, behind the scenes, right? You know, sometimes when you watch their summits, it just doesn't look that way. It just looks like they're kind of, you know, just standing there or whatever. But they're a lot of fun, and they're a great group. So they just need to kind of bring that into the camera a little bit more. Make it a little bit more fun, guys. Come on. Okay, I'm going to knock this over. I better put it over here. Okay, so Lando, nice to see you. I am hyped too. Richard Bates, good to see you. Where are you watching from? Hold on. I can't even see that flag, man. Is that a Taiwanese flag? I can't see it. My eyes are getting worse and worse and worse. Oh, man. Okay, so we got Debbie Hartman. All right, let's see. Alex Rodriguez, Thomas Hill, Gary. We got so many people now. Wow. Awesome, awesome. Okay, yeah, we hit 300. So this is going to start very soon. Let's do a test. I'm going to play one of my channel videos right now, and I want you to let me know if you can't hear it, okay? Not that at this point I'm going to be able to fix anything, but let me try to do that. So I'm going to go back here. It's the XT5 review. Here we go. Switching over to this. This is not the Summit. This is just a test. Here we go. Let me know if you have any problems with either the audio syncing up or being able to hear it at all. Okay. I don't think you can hear it, and I know how to fix it, but I want you to tell me because it may be something else. I may be wrong about it. So comment, please, if you cannot hear it. Okay, no sound. Good. You'll always check. Let this be a lesson to you. The more you review, the better you do. Okay, so here we go. I am going to try this.
Generation X-Trans
Can you hear it
CMOS
now?
sensor and processor, which is the same one that Fujifilm released with the XH2 camera. This new processor
everybody's
brings
saying
an
can't
all-new
hear.
autofocus algorithm that includes
But I'm pretty
more
sure you'd be
advanced
able to hear it
face,
now.
eye, and subject detection that was built into
I'll
the
wait
XH2.
for this to come.
By
Yay!
far, the most significant change
I'm
in
telling
this
you,
camera
you
is
check
the
it,
new
you check it
40
again,
megapixel
you check it
sensor
again,
and
you
the
check it
lower
again,
base
and just-
minimum ISO of 125. We'll get
Hey,
into
we
image
fixed it,
quality
right?
a little bit,
Okay.
but having a much larger
Problem
sensor
solved.
and a
And
higher
we're
resolution.
back to the main cam. Okay, let me shut that off. I'll tell you, I think flying the space shuttle is easier than figuring this stuff out at 12:30 in the morning or night or whatever time it is. Oh boy. Okay. All right. Let's see. Loud and clear. Seems like it syncs. Oh, good, good. I was worried about the syncing thing. It's a bit loud. Someone says, okay. All right. I noticed that too. So let me drop the gain a little on that. Okay. Hold on a second. Mouse just died. I'll use the trackpad. Oh, there's always something, is there? Okay, turning down the levels. Okay. Okay, so Fuji should be doing it very soon. Let's see where they're at. Okay, stand by. Let me check. Make sure I'm at the right place for Fuji. Interesting. It kind of disappeared off the thing. Hold on a minute. Did Fuji go offline? Hold on a minute. Okay, here. I'll try this one. Okay, that's mine. I'm live. Fuji, where are you? Let's see. Yeah, interesting. The entire summit disappeared. Let me go back to, let me go to Fuji Rumors. I'll jump to it from there. Fuji Rumors is a great resource. Okay, Fuji Rumors. I know they're going to link to it. Okay, Fuji Summit starts now. Where's the link to it? Patrick, did you put a link? He's got a link to his video. I need a link to their video. Hold on a minute. Fujifilm X. It's Fujifilm X Summit. Okay, X Summit Tokyo. Here it is. And we are live. Okay, folks, we're going to switch over to there now. Let's do this.
The 5th generation X-Trans CMOS sensor and processor, which is the same one that Fujifilm released with the XH2 camera. This new processor brings an all-new autofocus algorithm that includes more advanced face, eye, and subject detection that was built into the XH2.
From around the world, we are also joined here by representatives from over 30 countries. Most of all, thank you to the many photographers, videographers, filmmakers, passionate creatives, retail partners, and media outlets for your continued support for our X series and GFX system products. We would not be where we are today without you. On January 20th, 2024, Fujifilm celebrated its 90th anniversary. This is a huge milestone for us. For 90 years, we have sought to bring quality of life enhancement to the world through our best-in-class and innovative imaging products and services. This has made it possible for us to expand the reach of our imaging backbone to other industries like healthcare, materials, and business innovation. We also announced Fujifilm Group's purpose commemorating our 90th anniversary. We have a short video we would like to share with you.
Aw.
Every smile holds a story. Stories of joy, laughter, excitement. Stories of new beginnings. Stories of love.
Where's the gear?
Hope, and finding strength. Smiles shared with loved ones. And to celebrate new life. Smiles are our gifts and the stories we share. At Fujifilm, we know smiles. In everything we do and with all our partners. We spread smiles the world over, across communities, cultures, and industries. Giving our world more smiles.
Looks like they don't have subtitles or captions, unfortunately, or I'd put them on.
Giving our world more smiles. We bring diverse ideas, unique capabilities, and extraordinary people together to change the world. With our new group purpose as our guide and aspiration, we will endeavor to increase the number of smiles in the world. As Fujifilm's original business, imaging will always remain our focus and sit close to our hearts. Driven by the recent successes of Instax and our complete line of X series and GFX system cameras and lenses, we are happy to say that the imaging business is thriving and poised for next 10 years. We cannot thank you enough for your support over the years. We will continue to make every effort to increase everyone's smiles through our imaging products and services. Today's product announcement is symbolic because it represents a core philosophy that gave birth to our family of X-series cameras. Everyone, I'm pleased to introduce you to our newest premium compact camera in our flagship X100 series. Thank you. X106, featuring our latest fifth generation digital imaging technology. I'm going to pass it off to my team to tell you more about this exciting product in detail. But in the meantime, let me assure you that we will continue to develop many more attractive products for years to come.
Awesome.
Today's X Summit Tokyo is just one of the ways we are showing that commitment to you. X Summit Tokyo 2024 has officially begun. Please enjoy.
All right. Absolutely. Oh, some more B-roll here. Oh, wow. Their production values are better this year. They're definite improvement. Faster paced.
So, hello everyone. This is Yuji Igarashi from Fujifilm. So it's nice to see all the familiar faces as well as new. We are streaming live through YouTube Live today. So I hope many people are also watching our live stream today. So last X Summit was held back in 2019. That's 5 years ago. We're happy to see you, especially because this commemorates the 90th anniversary for Fujifilm. And previous X Summit was held in Stockholm, and we announced the flagship model, GFX 102. This camera is used for both stills and also video, and well accepted for both purposes. And also, probably you've seen the New Year's greetings on our YouTube channel. That was shot using in-camera VFX technology. So GFX can shoot in various setups, and it expands the field of expression. We prepared the same setup today next to this hall. So after this session, please check it out. 2022 marked the 10 years of X-mount. And we introduced the double flagship models, XH2S and XH2. We set a new benchmark for video capability. And at the same time, we introduced the XF18-120 f4 power zoom lens. This lens was very well accepted, especially when coupled with the XH2 and XH2S. Past 2 years, looking back, we may be able to say we put a lot of efforts in the video features of the camera. But I'm sure you understand that we have never forgotten about photography. XT5, which we introduced back in November 2022.
Just so you know, you're actually live on camera, okay?
I see that.
We care
I got it
about
on my iPad
photography.
here streaming and
More than any other company.
having
And we
me,
are
man.
committed to broaden its appeal. As first step, we came up with a 90th anniversary product. The product is X106.
Gee, I wonder how fast these will sell out. Oh.
You probably got one somewhere already.
Yeah, I got 6 in my bag in the back. Don't worry about it.
Ooh, it's pretty.
Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that.
I like the clean, simple look, man.
Oh. Did you catch that low 125 native ISO?
Blurry sunsets, that's good.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll drink to that. Cheers.
Yeah, man. Cheers. I gotta be
So
careful
we
not
hope
to
you
get
like the video, but we hope you love the camera even more. So X106 embodies the appeal of film camera and joy of photography. It represents the core value of Fujifilm since its foundation. So from now, I'd like to hand over to Justin Staley to explain about the camera. So Justin joined Fujifilm back in 2013 when
He's
I
a
was
great
in the
guy.
US, and since then, he's been a good friend and colleague of mine. So Justin, welcome.
Thank you, Yuji.
It's all yours.
It's all mine.
What's up, Justin?
Hi, everyone. I'm Justin Staley from the Global Product Planning team, and I'm going to explain the details of the X106. First, here is the product overview of the new and exciting X106. It utilizes a 5th-generation sensor and processor, plus a newly developed IBIS unit. Complete with AI autofocus and 6.2K video, it has evolved significantly from the previous model. However, the X106 is more than just a high-performance camera. This camera embodies our experience in both analog and digital photography. Experience the joy of photography just by taking a photo and looking through the viewfinder. For example, it is the ideal size and weight, allowing for mobility when focusing on a subject in the street. The shutter speed and aperture compensation dials are placed on top of the camera body. Together with the aperture ring, all shooting settings can be changed in a tactile fashion like an analog camera. Furthermore, each dial has a carefully considered feel. We've optimized the dials for both accuracy and comfort. Finding the ideal moment when looking through the viewfinder, we've carried over this advanced hybrid finder, the X100 series' most valued feature, to the new camera. The EVF supports composing inside the frame. The OVF opens up the field of view to include the area outside the frame, expanding the creative possibilities. These two technological features can be switched at will with a single lever. The X106 continues all the values that have been cherished by X100 series users. This is a camera that retains and redefines the concept that has been well received by many and is equipped with our latest components. And so to demonstrate our continued commitment to photography with this new camera, we have launched a photography project called Timeless Value. In this project, the photographers have used the X106 to feature and express a constant theme in their work. Today, we would like to introduce you to one of the participants in this project. We are pleased to introduce the documentary photographer, Sam Abel. Sam has been at the forefront of photography since the film era, possessing a profound understanding of photography as an expressive form. We have prepared for you a short movie that presents Sam's interpretation of timeless value. We trust that you understand the appeal of photography, and by extension, the concept of the X100 series. The following is the shortened 3-minute version of the original movie. Please have a look.
I'm Sam Abel. I've been a documentary photographer all my life. Documentary realism. Photography is my life. I learned photography from my dad. He was a high school teacher, and his great lesson to me was compose the picture, Sammy, and wait. Wait for something to animate it, to bring it alive, has been my mantra and the foundation of my photographic practice all my life. Photography is a way to be in the world, not in the studio, not at a desk looking at a computer, but out in the richness of life. And that's what I wanted. And in order for me to do that, I have to have a camera like this, honestly, which is compact, discreet, that I feel right about, not only in my hands, but around my neck or on my shoulder, right there for me as an extension of my connection to life. This camera design with its fixed 35mm is a return for me and for thousands and thousands, many thousands of photographers to the classical era of photography. It's not distorted, it's not exaggerated, and true to life. And I like living with those dimensions and those possibilities. The possibilities are rich. You don't need to reach for another lens to be achieving in photography. The photographic life is a rich
Great
life.
quote.
It's rich in many ways.
I love it. This is
Problem
awesome.
solving, artistic achievement, but by far the most meaningful are the human connections that I've been able to make as a photographer. And when the photograph is published, or when it's gifted to the people, I see that it connects. It connects generations, connects individuals. It's a way of bringing people together around a common humanity. I'm after that.
Wow.
I love this.
Yeah, beautiful.
I love. That's really well done.
Yeah. This
It's
is,
not that guy, you know, in the office sitting at a desk. This is good.
Yeah, and he's right on. I'm after that, he said.
I hope you all
Connecting-
enjoyed that.
connecting that.
Sam really wanted to be
cool.
here. Yesterday was actually his birthday, so unfortunately he couldn't make it. But I just want to say happy birthday, Sam. What attracts people
Happy
to photography?
birthday.
And what does the X106
I'll drink
offer
to
as
that.
tools to capture that appeal? As Sam said, and I also believe, it is something unique
All right.
that brings people together and enriches their lives. Now, you may be wondering about the technical advancements of the X106. Please allow me to introduce them. First of all, let's get into the most important aspect, image quality.
Here we go.
The X106
Yes.
is equipped with the sensor and processor from the 5th generation of the X series, the X-Trans CMOS 5 HR and the X Processor 5. 40 megapixel resolution has finally come to the X106. At Fujifilm, we envisioned this upgrade for the past 5 years. The same 23mm f2 prime lens has been carried over from the X100V. However, this lens seamlessly resolves 40 megapixels.
Thank the Lord.
This is the high resolution result of the output from the compact X106 body. Additionally, the X100 series accepts a wide angle or telephoto conversion lens as an accessory. These two conversion lenses also support 40 megapixel, providing high resolution results from the center to the edge of the image. You can enjoy taking high resolution images at these 3 focal lengths. We have made another evolution in image quality, the Reala Ace film simulation. Developed for the GFX 100-2, it will be available for the first time in the X series on the X106. This film simulation is the pair to Provia. In addition to Reala Ace, grain effect and color chrome effect are also included. These functions are the ones that add the charm of analog images in digital form. Exactly what we need for the X106. Moving forward, we recognize that the processor is a critical element of the camera. There are various performance improvements with the X Processor 5, but the enhanced autofocus is a point that we think will benefit users at all levels of photography. The newest autofocus algorithm produces swift and accurate results, and will also feature a subject detection function that utilizes deep learning technology. Another essential element to take full advantage of the high resolution and image quality of the 40 megapixel sensor is IBIS. IBIS enables you the freedom to not need a tripod to capture sharp images. IBIS is critical for maintaining image quality, but we cannot allow it to compromise the compact size and mobility of the X100 series. However, our engineers have successfully resolved this challenging contradiction. This is the result. With a slight size and weight increase of 2 millimeters in thickness and 43 grams in weight, we have successfully mounted a 6-stop IBIS unit. Although the mass of the IBIS part itself is almost the same as that of the XT5, the newly developed thin IBIS system was able to be installed into the camera. Moving on, the grip design has also been refined to match with mounting the IBIS unit. The grip and feel of the X100 remains the same as the previous model. And like the GFX 102, the X106's IBIS system utilizes image information, in addition to the gyro sensor, for improved image stabilization. With these advances in hardware and software, we were able to incorporate a small but powerful image stabilization system. The potential of the X106 increases with IBIS, giving more freedom for night street photography and slow shutter speeds. We imagine this being a useful update to photographers of all levels of experience. Although it is positioned as a still camera, the X106 is equipped with impressive video performance. It comes with 6.2K, 422 10-bit internal recording, and includes touch tracking autofocus. Moreover, you can connect it to Frame.io, camera to cloud, without additional accessories. Video and still image files can be uploaded directly to Frame.io. The workflow from shooting to editing is dramatically sped up and stress-free. We would like to introduce you to other useful devices incorporated into the X106. As we previously mentioned, the viewfinder is the same as that of the X100V. Look through the viewfinder, compose your shot, and release the shutter. This device is dedicated to creating through the viewfinder. With 3 distinct modes, EVF, OVF, and the electronic rangefinder, we hope you will enjoy creating images. The viewfinder is a very important feature of this model, but it is by no means the only way to enjoy photography. The flat LCD has been carefully designed for users to enjoy viewing on the screen. This is also a feature inherited from the X100V. When stored, it's completely integrated with the body, resulting in a very simple and elegant design. You can look through the viewfinder, shoot at waist level with the LCD, or simply just love the design. Everyone enjoys photography in their own way, and we trust that you will use the X106 in any way that suits you. Please let me explain about battery life. With the inclusion of IBIS, some may be concerned that it will decrease the number of shots that can be made. However, the X Processor 5's power-saving performance brings a solution to that. It uses the same NP-W126S battery as the X100V, yet is able to shoot slightly more frames than the X100V, enabling users to concentrate on shooting without worrying about the remaining battery power. Lastly, allow me to explain the accessories of the X106. All previous model accessories, including the lens hood and leather case, can be used with the X106. The adapter rings, AR X100, and PRF 49 can be attached to make the camera dust and weather resistant. This expands the conditions the X106 can be used in. We have come to the end of the X106 product description, and now we would like to hear from our photographers on their experiences using the X106.
He's nervous.
This part of the session will be led by Elle, a member of our marketing division.
They turned the lights up this time. Last year it was like almost complete dark.
All right.
Thank you.
Well done. Smashed it. Hey everyone, my name is Elle. It's a pleasure to be here with you and be standing on this stage today. I'm delighted to invite two of our creators to come and join me on the stage now for a short Q&A. These two creators have been using the X100VI for a while now, so they are well equipped to answer some of our questions on the key features. So with no further ado, I'd like you to put your hands together for Jasmine Quiñones and George Nobici.
I want to know why they didn't ask me and you to do that.
Welcome, guys. Thank you for joining me. If you'd like to just take a second to introduce yourselves, perhaps to the audience. That'd be great. George.
Hi, I'm George Nobici, a photographer, but I'm just a regular guy who walks out my door every day with my camera in hand, an open mind and a sense of wonder. 9 years ago, I met Sam Abel. He said to me, I think you have what it takes to be a photographer. And the other thing he said to me was, learn photography with a fixed focal length lens. So I got my first X100 series camera. From the moment I held it, I fell in love with it. And I wound up wandering on a journey of self-discovery for about 3 years. Some days, this camera was my best friend, only companion, but I came to love being with it. Now, I am a photographer based in Karuizawa here in Japan. Not only do I have a career in photography, but with the help of Fujifilm, I've started a photo festival, Karuizawa Photo Fest, to give back to the photo community. But ultimately, I'm still just a regular guy walking up my door every day with my camera in hand and a sense of wonder.
Wow.
Cool.
Okay, don't know how I'm going to follow that one up. That was a beautiful, beautiful introduction. My name is Jasmine Quiñones, and I am a filmmaker and a photographer, so sometimes I just call myself a blanket creator. But my work is vastly different than yours, I would say. I definitely do a lot of short film making, social content, and I'm also doing a lot of sports and fitness-related commercials. So I definitely, my last project with Fujifilm was actually a film about skateboarding. So that can give you a sense of the type of things that I do like to film and photograph. So very different from you. But yes, so I'm very excited to be here. I got my first Fujifilm camera only 3 years ago. So to be here speaking for Fujifilm is definitely a really surreal experience. So thank you guys for having me again. Appreciate it.
No, thank you for being here. Awesome. George, I'll come to you first. So we were talking earlier, but you've been using the X100 series since the X100T, right? So you know the system very well. Can you explain some of the upgrades and changes to the X100VI from its predecessor, X100V?
Yes. So I loved the T, and I also loved the F. And when the V came out, I was initially, honestly, just a little bit hesitant because it had grown in size, and there was a flip screen, which I didn't think I need because I always photograph from here for composition and stability. But I came to love it anyway, of improved image quality for all the features. It became the camera I couldn't leave home without every single day. But this time, it was really intuitive from the beginning. I had no such hesitation from the moment I first picked it up. It was an extension of my hands and eye. With this sleek profile, it reminded me of the X100T. And it might be the most beautiful camera yet in the whole series, which is impressive because I think these
That's a bold statement, but maybe.
I think the new users will fall in love with this as I did. So for those of you, welcome to the club. And for the loyal fans, I think you'll be very happy with this camera. I think it brings together the very best of this series together in one beautiful compact package. And I've been waiting to do this for a few months. So I'm just going to finally, I can remove this sticker.
I love that.
He's nervous.
Let's go through some of the features. I think one of the first, most important one to talk about is how are you finding the 40 megapixel sensor?
I absolutely love the resolution and the quality of images. For example, I was able to make a 2.4 meter print with this image, which is hanging just around the corner at the Canadian Embassy in Tokyo right now in an exhibition. So yeah, it's incredible that I can make prints using this camera of that size. In addition, because of the larger sensor resolution, I've been able to use additional tools in my toolkit, specifically the digital teleconverter. So previously, I was a little hesitant to go to 50 millimeter or 70 millimeter because of the resolution I would lose. I have no such problem here because of starting with a 40 megapixel sensor.
Sure. Something that's, I think, really useful to have when you're working with a fixed lens system anyway. But
it's become easier, and I would also say this. It's a camera that professionals can use without hesitation, for example, in exhibitions, but also for hobbyists who want to grow with a camera, just as I did 9 years ago. It's the perfect camera for that, and for photographic memories and family times and things like that as well.
For every kind of subject that you need in your life.
Absolutely.
And the X100VI comes equipped with IBIS as well. Has that changed the way that you've used the camera or you've been shooting with it?
Absolutely. I think there's an example of a photograph at the moment, but this is a photograph I could not have made with the X100V. So I talked before about the flip screen, but when you hold the camera down below, it's harder to keep your hands steady for making a photograph. I would have needed a tripod to make this photograph in the past, but with IBIS, I was able to go to this rocky shoreline, hold the camera below, and use the neutral density filter to slow down my shutter speed and photograph this wave coming in just at the moment it was washing away this buoy. So this is a new way of incorporating additional tools. So I can compose and wait, but I can compose and wait with a slower shutter speed.
Gives you like a different element of versatility to your shooting.
Absolutely. This camera was always designed for handheld photography, I think. Leaf shutter, compact. So all of those things were working for it. Now with IBIS, it's reaching another level.
Nice.
Yeah.
And talking about just grabbing your camera and taking a shot and having that stability, how did you find the weight of the new X100VI?
Honestly, I didn't notice the weight at all. Of course, if I held both, I could notice the slightest of differences. But I think it comes down to the design and the balance. So the engineers did an amazing job where when you hold this, it just feels right in my hands here. And when I got the X100V, I ended up wanting a grip, a case of some sort just for the balance of it. But this, I don't need it at all. So if I factor that in, it ends up being lighter than a 100V with a case. So this has been a great feature about that, I think.
Yeah. And a final question, just taking a little different direction, but talking about film simulations, you've been a classic Chrome fan, I believe, for most of your career. Did you try Reala Ace? How did you get on with that?
I did. When I first picked up the X100T, I fell in love with classic Chrome. I loved the richness of its tones, shadows, and I always was using classic Chrome. And then when X100V came out, classic negative became a second film simulation in my toolkit, one that I also love to use. I'm happy to say that Reala Ace is now my third option, my third go-to option. It's wonderful. I can use it for more vibrant scenes with nature, and yet it's still a little bit understated and feels natural. So I really enjoy that. I think that it is wonderful that Fujifilm has this amazing archive of analog films and that history to draw upon, so that you can find a film simulation for your own sensibilities and work with those. So I think that's an amazing feature.
Thank you so much. I'll come
My
to you,
favorite
Jasmine,
is
next, a
macros.
little bit further away. But starting off, I wanted to ask, we talked a bit backstage as well about how you find the distinct look and design of the X100 series. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so I mean, I've always been a fan of anything that looks very nostalgic and retro, and so I was really drawn to Fujifilm cameras like right from the start. But I think one of the best things about the X100 series is not just the nostalgia and the feel of it kind of really feeling like an analog camera, but also just the fact that it is so small. It is such a powerful camera with such a beautiful lens on it. I don't know what they did to the lens, but it's just like, it's a magic lens for me. But the fact that I can just fit it in like my little side streetwear bag, and it's so discreet, it doesn't weigh much at all, so it's not weighing me down, and I'm a very on-the-go creator, so I think it fits perfectly into my workflow, and it just looks cool. Let's be real, it looks pretty cool.
It does look great. Talking about just like grabbing it from your pocket and stuff as well, like you were talking earlier about the autofocus and how you have that comfort that you can just grab your camera and get the shot. Obviously, over the years, the autofocus to the X100 series has gone through a lot of changes and improvements. How have you found it with the X100VI?
Yeah, so I tend to work pretty fast, pretty on the go. Like I said, I like shooting a lot of sports. I like shooting a lot of candid photography and filmmaking and shutter drags and all that. So the autofocus for me has been a really big improvement as somebody who does a lot of video work, solo filmmaking. The improved face and eye detection is super important for me. Subject detection is great. And so, yeah, I'm definitely someone who utilizes autofocus quite a bit. So I'm very, very pleased with the improvements.
You and me both.
They're starting already, man.
You mentioned your video work, right? As a
Wait till the
DOP,
TikTokers hear about it.
Mostly on film.
Yeah,
Did you get
Gone.
a chance to shoot a lot of video with the X100?
You won't be able to get one.
Yeah, so here in Japan and also in Miami, I had the camera and I was able to test some video work with the camera. Like I said, filmmaking is definitely more of like my main thing, my bread and butter. So I found the experience, especially with the IBIS on the camera, to be huge. And I've really been so impressed with the fact that I don't have to bring out a tripod if I don't want to, and I was able to be on the subway and kind of get a steady shot without a tripod. And everyone who films video knows that, you know, if a camera is so light, it's very hard to keep it steady, and it's very hard to not see the little shakes in it if there's no weight to the camera. So the introduction of IBIS was awesome, and to branch off of that, I'm someone who also really likes control over their image. So I use F-Log all the time, F-Log 2. I'm super, super excited about the introduction of the 422 10-bit footage. That to me is a dream come true. That means I can really take the images from the X100VI and color grade them to my liking and to my style. So I love that a lot, and I'm a huge XS20 and XH2S user. So the fact that they took some of the specs from the XS20 and the XH2S, especially the 650K.
I was going to have a drink every time someone ordered one, but I'll pass out at this point.
Blows my mind because, you know, it really gives people options to travel out. Even with something like the XS20, it's super small, but you still have all these like lenses that you might be carrying around. So it gives people options to travel super, super light. And then I will say one more thing, and then I'll stop. But the internal ND, I know the internal ND, it was a feature on the previous model, but I think people just forget how important the internal ND is, especially to people who are making films and doing video work. Having an ND filter on a camera that's that small internally is amazing. I'm able to go out and film when it's like bright daytime and just switch the ND on so fast, and it's insane because even on my XS20 or my XH2S, I have to like screw an ND filter on those. So you guys really definitely stayed true to the efficiency of this camera, and I really, really enjoyed that.
And a final point on efficiency as well is the camera to cloud functionality with Frame.io. And have you been using that? Is it useful for your workflow?
Yeah, so I think that the introduction of the Frame.io to camera to cloud technology natively, I think it can be a great upsell to clients as somebody who, again,
Camera's going to sell out tonight.
Wants content so fast. You make clients happier if you're able to send them the assets quicker than other people. So I think that it is a great selling point to be able to tell a client, like, hey, there's this camera to cloud technology. I can send these images over or these videos over as I'm filming them. So I think that that's really awesome. Or if you have an editor or if you have someone that's pulling selects for you, you're able to just make the content, send it over to Frame.io, and then have someone just look through those, download them, make selects for you. It just makes everything faster. So yeah, efficiency, again, Fujifilm is really good at making very efficient workflows. So
amazing. Thank you both so much for your answers today. That concludes the Q&A. I know that your projects and everything we've discussed hopefully gives an invaluable insight to the camera, to the audience here and online. So thank you very much for your time.
That was very cool. I thought both of them had some really nice insights. The cloud thing is awesome. Cloud technology, I really dig that.
And just before I go, there's one more thing that I want to mention. For this product launch, we worked with photographers and creators around the world to create lifestyle projects that incorporate the X106 into their daily lives. The photos from these projects will be released on our socials, so I hope you get a chance to take a look and enjoy them. And we also hope you can agree that the X106 is a camera suited for any style or take on the world, as long as it's your own. These projects are just the tip of the iceberg, and we hope to see your lifestyle recreated through the lens of your X106. So please share with us online. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Elle, Jasmine, George, for the inspiring session. I think I don't need convincing anymore, right? Okay, so here's the exciting part, right? The release date and price of X106. It's going to be $15.99 US.
Oh.
Availability end of February at the earliest, depending on the market situation. Comes in two colors.
200 more than the original.
Black and silver, like the previous model.
Same price for black or silver.
And we hope you choose this camera, the new evolved camera, as your new company for photography. So today, not only are we talking about X106, but we have a few more things to share today.
Oh, one more thing.
First is the XF lens roadmap update. So last X Summit, we updated the roadmap, the GF 500mm and the GF power zoom. Now we expand this XF lens roadmap as well. So it's one of the most important lens, we could say, because it's a kit lens. We have the XF 18 to 55mm f2.8 to 4. This is a great lens, very popular kit lens, but it's been here for more than 10 years since introduction.
Don't call it a kit lens. It's better
we still
than that.
have a demand always for clear, high-performance lenses. So the answer for this demand is the XF 16 to 50 f2.8 to 4.8. So this is a next generation kit lens with versatile focal length.
16 to 50.
We only have the focal length and f-stop info today, but we can assure you that it's going to be beyond the ordinary kit lens quality because it's going to be a genuine lens made by Fujifilm. We will focus on improving
the NDAs have expired.
versatility and sharpness. So please look forward to it.
I mean, that sounds like a great all-around lens to me.
We will continue to improve the software too. We launched the X app during the X Summit Bangkok back in June last year. And we will be releasing the version 2 within February.
Yeah, I agree.
The activity page will be renewed, and you can view all images taken with specific camera lens just by tapping on the icon.
Okay,
and
now that's super cool.
If you tap the film roll, you can see all the images taken by that specific film simulation.
I love that.
And also,
that is like
the
a
equipment page will
dream.
be added to check status of the camera vitals.
I thought they had that already. Huh.
There were many requests also on the
I don't know.
shutter
I
count.
didn't see that. Maybe.
So this is also enabled. You can check the number of shots taken.
That's new.
Even the battery status of the device.
Oh man, that's super.
Additionally, there's going to be a background download for firmware, which will be available. This version 2.0 will be available soon, and the activity page will be compatible with all X app models.
That's good.
Camera vitals and background download will be supported later date, and that depends on the product. So please keep an eye on the announcement.
I think we're going to have to give up on the X Pro 4.
Another firmware info for camera body.
Dude, I know. I'm very sad.
This improves the video functionality of the 5th generation
Whatever it costs,
devices,
just give it to me.
starting with XH2 and XH2S.
Firmware.
Red
Okay.
Frame display
Here we go.
and touch tracking
That we
autofocus
needed.
will be added.
Oh,
Also,
really?
autofocus
Finally.
performance will be improved with algorithm enhancement.
We'll see.
It will improve subject detection
Red
and
frame,
tracking
finally,
accuracy.
though.
Yeah. Gotta have that red
That's
frame.
good.
The autofocus
I love that
algorithm
red frame.
developed
It's
for
everything.
GFX 102 is now applied to X series, and it will be available this spring.
Cool.
2 more information on firmware upgrade. So 2024
Oh, yes!
is
Reala Ace
is
coming to
Fujifilm-
XT5.
Calm down, everyone.
Oh,
God, I'm so
Fujifilm's
happy about
90th
that.
anniversary, but also 20th anniversary of film simulation.
oh, that's cool.
So we will expand the latest film simulation, Reala
Drink
Ace,
to that
to
one
other
twice.
5th generation devices.
Yeah, dude. Come on.
Initially developed for GFX 102 and applied to X106, now under development for 5th generation cameras.
I gotta be
Second
careful. I got the
information
Johnny Walker Black going.
Is the Frame IO camera to cloud,
Right.
now available without accessories, the X106.
I love
This
the
will
Frame
also be rolled
IO.
out. So compatible models,
Yeah.
you can see on the screen.
That's cool.
The release date is still undecided.
Time to hydrate.
Be right back.
So this is all we have for today.
Oh, that's it.
So
Wait,
X106, lens roadmap,
that's it.
X app, and firmware. It will add a lot to our system. We are committed to expanding the system and providing appealing products. Lastly, let me introduce some initiatives as Fujifilm.
Initiatives.
Fujifilm
I
Group
like that.
working
All right.
to
This is
contribute to the resolution of
here,
environmental
Iguana. You hear the initiatives. I gotta do
and
something
digital camera
important.
business,
Yeah, go
no
ahead.
exception.
I'll.
So we have a
keep
manufacturing
track of the
plant in the
initiatives.
Philippines, which are mainly lenses.
Well, Chris refills
And-
his wine glass.
Thank you, thank you. So end of last year, we completely switched to CO2-free electricity purchase. We are installing solar panels at our Fujifilm Omi office, which is our imaging solutions headquarters,
Cool.
and also a plant in Japan and China. Some already installed, and power generation
one
will begin
cares.
soon. So
Hey,
we are
Lamb, come on,
committed
let me talk
to
about
giving
the
our world more
initiatives.
smiles with product and services, and also reducing environmental impact. That's all we have.
All right, I'll drink to that
and
as a
environmental
Tesla
impact.
guy.
Sorry. So that's all we have for the X Summit, Tokyo 2024. Thanks so much.
Awesome. All right, so you're all stuck with
Of
me.
course,
Chris
we
disappeared.
cannot end without one more thing, right?
Wait,
Yeah.
one more thing.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
So we
Please
cannot
be an
just
X Pro
end
4.
yet. So to celebrate our 90th anniversary. So the first generation model, X100, had black as limited edition. 10,000 pieces worldwide. And standard color at the time was silver only. And now, so for the X106, we have prepared something similar. So here it is, X106 limited edition.
Ooh. Okay, the crowd is a little underwhelmed.
So
That looks
this
beautiful.
is a silver body base.
Oh,
and
wow.
has the
What did I
original
miss?
corporate
Special
logo
box.
on the top plate and lens cap.
Yes, please.
Oh, that's
Titanium
cool.
shutter release, original strap, soft release, history cards included in special box.
What is a
The hot
history
shoe
card?
engraved with unique serial number.
History of Fuji? That's
Yeah.
You may have noticed.
That's cool.
So it's 1934 pieces, right? 1,934 pieces worldwide, commemorating the founding year of Fujifilm.
Yeah, you see it.
Oh, that's
So here's
cool.
the price. It'll be 1,999. So
It'll go on
the
eBay
channel,
for $5.
sales channel will vary
Chris, you
on
doing
country
it?
or region.
I,
So please check
I don't know, man. I
Fujifilm
love that.
where you reside.
I want one. Just
Guys, can you
Send
send
it
one
to
to the
me.
studio, Fuji, please? Thanks. Got to
So
review it.
truly marks the end of X Summit Tokyo 2024.
Good job.
So
This is a
thank you
good
for
one.
attending.
I like this one.
And
Yeah.
watching.
I did too, though.
So-
It's good.
Thank you. So this will not be the only X Summit in the 90th year for Fujifilm, right? So
Cool.
many more products will be introduced moving forward. In fact, the venue for next X Summit is already decided. Guess where?
Where?
Yes, Sydney, Australia.
Oh, yeah. Good day, mate.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
let's go to that
Chris.
one, Pete. Let's
Yeah,
go
I was
down
gonna
there.
say,
Seriously, we'll
after
go
the
out. We'll,
circus there.
we'll go. Go out in the outback after.
So more information
You got
will
the
follow
pull.
on YouTube.
Anybody
and
from
our official
Australia? Let us know.
website, fujifilm-x.com.
Come
So please
through.
check it out.
What did he say? Oh,
See you next time.
Fujifilm-X. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Wow. Whoa.
That was cool.
Okay, well,
I enjoyed it.
one camera, right? So, okay, let me turn that off. Let me get this technical stuff out of the way. All right, let me go. Pete is gonna, let's see, add left. I guess I'll put myself to the left. And Pete, can I do that? Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everyone out there. This is Pete Coco. He joined the group. He has been on our electronic campfire before. He is a professional portrait photographer in New York City and Long Island. His work is awesome. In fact, I even have, check it out. Have a look at that. Go subscribe to his channel. Well, go check out his channel first. If it's any good, then subscribe to it. But Pete Coco Photography. What do you all think?
Chris.
What do you all think? Now, before I say anything else, I must say, I was sent, I couldn't talk about this until now. I was sent the X106 3 weeks ago. And
That is so cool.
I have tested and been out there using this thing. I don't think I've tested a camera more than I've tested this one. In fact, I was supposed to have a video that was going to go live right now. And I had so much material from testing this camera out because there were things about it that I didn't expect. Part of the reason was that I didn't ever own, in fact, I have never even held an X100V. I'm an XT5 guy. I'm an XT4, XT3, you know, the dials, the whole bit. So I wanted the video to be kind of an approach from that. Let me turn off this music. Hold on, it's really annoying. Okay. And so I approached it that way, and Fuji entrusted me. They sent me this thing, but I was under very strict NDA, and I take that really seriously. So I couldn't say a word about it, not even to backstage, which was really hard to not tell those folks. So I took it out shooting. I went vlogging with it. I shot every single thing you could do on it. I'll put it to you this way. When I write a script for a video for this channel, the number of pages of a typical script for a typical video on this channel is between 2 and 3. The script for the X106 clocked in at over 12 pages of literally going through the entire thing, because it started out as a first look video, right? And then as I was using the camera, it was a completely different experience having that fixed lens and just the way that it worked, the viewfinder, and there's a lot of other features. We're going to do a Q&A because I know a lot about this camera. And then it turned into a review. The problem is that I was using a pre-production model, so I couldn't really, I didn't feel right calling it a review. So the videos, first of all, the video is probably going to be going up tomorrow. actually, no, today. Yeah, what time is it here? Jeez, it's 1:20 a.m. Okay, so the video is probably going to go up today, and I can't really call it a review, but it is. I'm telling you, it's as close to a review as I can get. It's also a tutorial for people who have never used the X100, who don't understand how that whole thing works, right? Because it's very different than other cameras. So I approached it as a real noob, which is what I wanted. I tested the hell out of the video specs too. I mean, up, down, left, right, the IBIS, So with that being said, and I'm sorry, I was not allowed to talk about it. I couldn't mention anything. The hardest day of my career at pal2tech was the day I had to return it back to Fuji. I'll just say that. I don't want to give away everything in the video. All right. But I will say this. Its performance in low light with regard to high ISO and some of its autofocus features, if you set them correctly, and I go through that, are as good, if not better, than any Fuji camera I've ever used.
Wow.
I was blown away. Okay.
I love it.
That being said, there were a couple of little pain in the butt things, and I cover those too. Sorry, Fuji, if you're watching. Okay, but I cover those too.
They're watching. They definitely are.
I know. No, I know. Well, here's the thing. So they sent this camera. This camera arrives, right? When you get a pre-production camera, you get nothing. They don't even have the instructions. There's nothing, okay? Just the box and the camera. And so you're really shooting in the dark. And so I was looking at the manual for the X100V, but, so there were a number of menu items that I had never heard of before. Cool. And so there were video color checks. Yeah, I will. Hold on, let me pull up my notes. I'll tell you a few. Where is that one? So one of the ones that is. Well, okay, a couple of things. So the ND filter, it is not a digital ND filter. Oh, no. And so my question was, it's a 4-stop ND filter. It can be used for both still shooting and video. Okay.
Wow.
So my first question to Fuji, and Fuji, you were awesome in answering all my questions. Sorry I bugged you so much, but I was constantly asking these things because I was thinking, why can't I adjust it? I don't want it necessarily at 4 stops all the time. What if I want it at 8 stops? The reason it can't be adjusted is because, guess what? It's a real filter. It's a physical object. When you enable it, it goes, and it makes that exact sound. And it goes between the light coming in the lens and the sensor. So you have a real piece of hardware sliding into place on that camera.
Wow.
So it's learning about that kind of stuff. Hold on. So ND filter.
That's right there is super cool, man.
Yeah. There's so much to this thing. And that's the thing. And I thought to myself, I could do the B job, hi guys, I have a copy of I wanted it to be really like covering everything. I don't know why. There was something about this camera, and I haven't written the conclusion yet to this review. First look, and I'm shooting it tonight after this. And there's some information that came up actually that contradicts what I said. Because what I had a little bit of a rant, a little mini rant, right? Where I was saying, Reala Ace, why the heck can't they put it out for the XT5? I actually shot that footage. I lit it. Now I got to cut that out because I'll sound like an idiot because they are releasing it for the XT5. So, it is what
awesome,
it is.
By the way.
I know, that is good. Hold on, let me see. So that red, that red border when you're shooting video?
Dude, I love that. That is the best feature, but yes, go on.
But guess what? Nobody mentioned this. It's not we had a briefing call with Fuji. I don't even think they know this. So Fuji, guess what? I'm going to tell you a new feature. Not only is there a red border around that kind of goes like that when you're shooting video, but if you switch the camera into slow-mo video mode, say 240 frames a second or whatever it is, you get a purple one. Or no, it's a turquoise. It's turquoise. It's turquoise. It's different. And so you can tell by the color of the red frame if you're in that weird high-speed video mode, which is I don't know who thought of that over there, but good job, because that's a pain in the butt if you accidentally have it in that and you didn't mean to be. Let me show you some other weird things.
Those little things like that make all the difference, man. That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah. Okay, so then the next thing, there's a new thing, and I think this is new. Oh, I'm so glad that NDA thing is gone. Aren't you, Girawana? So it's called Focus Map. Do you all know what Focus Map is? Anybody? It's on a couple of other cameras from other brands. I know that Miles probably knows it, but it's a new manual focus assist feature. And you know what? Let me see if I can show it to you. All right. The NDA is gone. I can do whatever the hell I want. Right? Do you want to see it? I'll show it to you if I can. I got to, I filled up 4.5 SD, not cards, but drives, 4 terabytes each with all this B-roll. I mean, I was going out on the highway doing car tracking, oh, wow, it caught the car, the whole thing. I wasn't doing any of the, the trees blowing. Photography is I wasn't doing any of that. It was color charts, cars, the most boring stuff you can imagine. Yes, Mark is right. Focus map like on a Sony. Exactly. A little prettier than the one on the Sony. But yeah, it's there. Let me see if I can pull this thing up. Hold on a second. Okay, I got the X Summit. I don't want to show you my script. I got to make sure you can't see that, because here's the other thing. I still have to shoot about an hour left of this, and I'll lose my mojo if I talk about it now. You know what I mean? I want to share it with you, but I need to share it with you when the camera's on, right? When I'm in the studio doing it. So if I talk about it all now, I'll be like, well, what's the point of even making the video? But let me show you this one thing if I can. Footage. And by the way, while I'm doing this, if you have any questions on this camera at all, put them in the comments. I can't get to every single one, but I might get to yours. Okay, so let's see here. B-roll of it was
Chris,
recent.
I've got tons of questions, actually.
Okay, all right. I used it as a webcam. By the way, you plug it right into a computer. Boom, you don't need any software. It's a webcam. You can switch your film simulation. Like you can be in Zoom and just go, you know what? I don't look so good in Zoom. I'm going to switch it to Acros. Boom, and just switch it. It works right now in Zoom on a Mac, out of the box, no software needed. Just plug it right in with the USB-C cable.
Very cool. Can you manually adjust it, though?
Yeah. Yes. Believe so.
That's
I'm
awesome.
99%. Okay. The one thing that kind of sucks is it doesn't come with a charger. Well, it comes with a USB cable, but they expect you to have, one of those USB chargers. It's like, all right.
Dude,
but
that's every camera.
I know. It's just bugs me. I don't know why.
It bugs me too. I got a ZF recently for review, and I was like, there's no charger in here.
Right.
Like, it just bothers me. But what are you going to do, man? It's like, that's
what are you going to do?
The common thing. But does it take the same battery as the XT5? Or is it the smaller battery?
So it takes the same battery as... It takes this battery right here, okay? The XT3 and XT2 battery. I'll give you I'm going to read the correct quote right off. I have my script for the video right in front of me.
I got one.
Okay, hold on a second.
I got my X Pro 1 battery, same one, I think.
I'm just going to recreate the video scene. I'm recreating the scene right now. Hold on. I gotta, prepare.
He needs to hydrate first.
There's nothing like, when you're directing, you're trying to get a shot, and you have the actors going, hold on, I need to prepare. Just get the thing done. Jesus. Okay.
They like me. They really like me.
They love me. So, the Wait, hold on. I just make sure I got my lines right. Okay. I didn't have any rehearsal time for this.
Okay, go ahead.
So, the X106 takes the smaller battery, right? That goes into the XT2 and the XT3. But let me tell you something. I mean, I understand why they did it, but once you've used the larger XT5 battery, it kind of sucks going back to the small one. I'm just saying. No, I'm going to cut that part out. But you know what I mean? It is a smaller battery. Now, I understand why they did it. They did it because try to imagine putting this battery, okay, the size of this battery, focus, there we go, this battery into the compact body and then shoving in the IBIS unit, right? The 6-stop, 5-axis IBIS unit, which works really well, by the way. I'm going to show you that too.
Cool.
Yeah, that's why. So it uses the smaller one. Just buy an extra one. Okay, let me just find.
Listen, right? You got to just carry a couple of them. I mean, you want small, you're going to have to deal with it. Listen,
That's right.
Here's a question I have in regards to that battery life. Did you try the hold on, I made some notes here. Where is it?
Notes. He's got notes. Awesome.
Got notes, people.
You're more organized than I am.
Did you try the camera to cloud thing?
No, that was the one thing well, there's a few things I was shooting B-roll on the way to the post office. Okay, to ship it back to him. I ran out of time, you know, and it's hard because when you have 2 kids and just a million things going on. So I didn't do Frame IO, but I talk about it and I researched it and I explained how it works, but I didn't actually do it. But I did do Frame IO on Capture One when I did a tutorial on that. So I'm very familiar with how it works. Yeah, I can answer any questions about it.
That's the thing that I was thinking when they talked about the Frame IO is what does that impact the battery life and does the camera become like super hot and all that kind of stuff. That was the thing I was thinking with that, because that is a super cool feature. Because if I understand it correctly, with the Frame IO, I can be like out in the middle of wherever, in Queens somewhere, out on the street, have my iPad with me, and then be taking shots with my X100 Mark VI, and they're popping up on the screen. But I haven't tried it yet. So am I right about that, or am I wrong about that?
No, you're right. It's the way that it works is it connects to Wi-Fi, so you must have a Wi-Fi signal. But the difference is that the X106 does not need any kind of special grip or external accessory to make it work. It's built right in. And so you connect it to Wi-Fi, and then as you're taking your shots, it will send them right up to your frame.io account, and it will send both videos and photos the second you take them.
So I absolutely, as a portrait photographer, even in my studio, I absolutely love that, because that means that I can have my iPad, you know, hanging out, and I have you know, this big iPad, and I could be doing that, and my clients can be seeing them pop up, and just I can have them check out the iPad and favorite their images and stuff like that, and that's super cool, man. I really love that. So but that would be my concern about that, is like, what does that impact? It's got to impact the battery life. But, you know, like you said, if you're using these little batteries, like this is my X Pro 1, right? And it's probably the same battery, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And you just have to have like an S ton of them.
Yeah.
For lack of a better word.
I know. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's this, you can't get around the sizing of it. And I'd rather have the IBIS, to be honest. The fact that they made that compromise. Okay, so let me show you guys this. Let me see if I get this to work. Hold on. This is going to stretch my live web, whatever live stream skills. I'm going to need some water now. I quit the wine because I will pass out. Okay. Let me go to Ecamm Live, switch into desktop mode. And I need to show, let's, QuickTime. Yeah, can you see it? Hope you can see it. All right. So, okay. Where is QuickTime? Okay, here it is. So it's a new feature. You see it's in the MF Assist menu, right? So this is from the X106. So basically you enable it and then you get this kind of grid that comes on when you're shooting with these colored squares. And you put an object, your subject, kind of in front of it. And what it does is the green part is the area in the depth of field, obviously, that's in focus, right, in your focal plane. And then you have these other colors that appear. Hold on, if I can get it to show. I am literally going off my raw B-roll. Let me pull this one up.
Looks good.
Okay, let's see if it comes back up. Off. Yeah, oh, this is great. Cute. I like Ecamm. It's working out well tonight. Okay, so did I do it in here? Oh, whoa, you see Reala Ace? There it is, Reala Ace. I got some thoughts on that too. So much to talk about with this camera. That's why the video is delayed. Let me try this one. Camera menu, maybe this is it. Oh yeah, look. There's the red thing, right? There's red when you're shooting video. And we have turquoise when you're shooting slow-mo. You see that? So there's that. So cool. The other thing, let's look at if I can show you. Yeah. Okay. I got to switch back. Hold on one second. Okay, yeah. All right, primary display. I got to go to Finder. Oh, here it is. Okay, there's Finder. Good. All right. I got all these folders here. Look at this video quality. Got lots of things in here. So, let me go to my stills. And let's just look at this. Okay, so what's interesting is that the raw files, I'll just give you a little behind the scenes here. The JPEGs obviously are processed in the camera, right? So if you're shooting with Reala Ace, the new film sim, in the camera, as soon as you take the shot, the camera then processes it in Reala Ace and saves it out to the SD card. But with a raw file, it doesn't do that. With a raw file, the raw file, and I'm going to make this real simple here, the raw file just captures the data from the sensor. And then it puts it in a package, and it also adds additional information like notes to it. And one of those notes is, this was shot using Reala Ace. It's not actually converted to Reala Ace. It's just mentioned that it was shot using Reala Ace. So you need a program to read it. Lightroom, Capture One, Photoshop. So here's how I was able to get around this. And I think somebody's going to get in trouble with this because of the NDA. Capture One was able to, what I did was I updated it to the latest version yesterday. And they had the ability to read the raw file, and they had it marked in the program that it was the X106, but it wasn't able to apply, and it didn't mention at all Reala Ace Film Sim. Lightroom Classic, Lightroom in general, couldn't read it at all. It couldn't even open the file, okay? It was like, it had nothing. But there's a page, if you go to Google and you search for something like, I think it was Adobe Camera Raw Beta for creators, just testing, new camera models, something like that. You get a page on Adobe's website that allows you to download this untested, and I wouldn't recommend you all do that, okay? Please don't, actually. But you get this version of Adobe Camera Raw that's really new. It's like an alpha version. So I threw that on the computer, and when I opened it in Photoshop, when I opened the raw file in Photoshop, perfect. Reala Ace, every film sim was in there. It was perfect. It was completely finished. However, if you're in Photoshop and you have it open and you apply a camera raw filter to it, it won't work. So it's like this weird half-finished thing. And that was what I was going through in making the video. It was like, there was no way in hell I was going to do a video on this camera and not show you the dynamic range performance. But in order to do that, I had to open up the raw file. And in order to do that, I had to find some hack, some way to make that happen. And so Photoshop was the only way to do it. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right. Because the pre-production model, if I'm not mistaken, if they send you one of those, you're only, they don't really give you the raws, or is it you only see the JPEGs or what?
Well, you're supposed to just kind of not do anything with the RAWs at this because there's nothing supported. Right. You're supposed to just go, hey guys, we just got this brand new camera and it's nearly I mean, what else are you going to do? You can't test it. You can't really talk about it because there's no instructions, right? There's no manual. There's no ability to look into the files that come from it. And I don't know, man. I wanted to find out more about it. So I did two things. I mean, I was hacking Photoshop, but the other thing was I was bugging Fujifilm constantly with questions. So, but that's why the video ballooned up and now is delayed because of this. So the good news is it's going to go up and it is a pre-production version. And the version that I tested may not be the final version, but I will say this, it is a great camera. And there's a few things that I want to share in the video, but yeah, well, go ahead.
Awesome. No, I want to ask you because so over the past year, one of the big kinds of points of contention I've had when I make my videos about the X-T5 is the sensor, right? And I feel like some people are like anti 40 megapixel sensor because they still feel like the high ISO performance is not as good and this and that. So what can you tell us about that? Because I'll tell you real quick, my experience with that sensor has been wonderful. I love it. And I think it's rocking. But I'd like to know, could you give us a little, maybe like a little preview about how you feel about that? Especially because, what I love about this camera is that people can't go online and be like, is this lens optimized for the camera?
Right.
Well, it's physically attached. So yes. So give us a little insight in that.
Okay.
That's what I'm like.
All right, let me get my notes here.
Without giving too much.
Yeah. Hold on. My notes got really weird because I was writing them at like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. I mean, this has just been insane. You'll see what I mean when I mention. Okay, so I have a whole thing on Reala Ace. All right, I'm going to read you word for word what I said. This is just part of it. It's a little less saturated than Provia, a little more saturated than Classic Chrome, and has an edgier tonality than Pro Negative High. Reala Ace puts on boxing gloves. This was 4 o'clock in the morning, remember. Reala Ace puts on boxing gloves and then pops Provia and pops Pro Negative High in the nose with a slightly more punchy contrast. Yes, that was kind of a dad joke. So, but that's what I wrote. I don't know if that's going in the video, but that's what I wrote about it. Okay, as far as color and saturation are concerned, I think it renders skin tones among the best, if not the best, of any Fujifilm film simulation under normal shooting conditions and lighting. Fuji, if you're watching, why can't you bring Reala Ace to the X-T5 camera, for heaven's sake? And that's, I got to cut that part out. But Reala Ace is incredible. I love it. Love it. So let's go to high ISO. Hold on.
Right. Yes.
I mean, I'm not going to read the whole script tonight, but high ISO. Where is it?
Just a little taste, Chris.
Yeah. All right. This literally, it's like single space typed 13 pages. Jeez. Shutter. Okay, hold on. This is literally more comprehensive than my XT4 review. And this is supposed to be a quick look video, first look video. Okay.
That's good, man. That says a lot about it, though. It says a lot of good things about the new camera, right?
Okay, so with regard to ISO, they've dropped the native ISO down to 125, which is awesome. It looks great. It has an extended ISO that drops down to 64, and it goes up to 51,200. So, and for what it's worth, it's the extended ISO on this camera, the X106, I think, as crappy as extended ISO looks like at, 51,000, I think it looks better on this new camera than it does on the X-T5. I was shocked at that. And I I reran that test a number of times because it just didn't make sense that it would be that way, but it is.
Good.
The other pain in the ass, okay, so pain in the butt, okay. The other pain in the butt was that the original, and I had to research this because I didn't own one, but listen to this. The original X100V, if you put the camera into auto ISO, okay, in the auto ISO menu, there is an area where you can specify minimum shutter speed, which is really important because you don't want that shutter speed to get slower than your minimum and then ruin your shot, right, with motion or subject blur. Well, guess what? I don't know if you all know this, but the X100V's minimum shutter speed didn't allow you to set it to any value you wanted. The fastest minimum shutter speed you could set it to in auto ISO is 1/500th of a second. Okay, that sucks. So they changed that. They changed it. And in the X106, the new one, it's now 1/2000th of a second. It still doesn't go all the way up to, you know, the 1/8000, but it's faster, a lot faster. And I was shocked at that.
Yeah.
Just there's so much to this camera. But don't worry, I'm getting to ISO performance. I'm looking for it here.
Do you want me to, I have a whole list. Chris,
yeah, I know, but here's the thing.
You want me to ask?
I'm going to mention all this. I have to shoot this video because I am running, ladies and gentlemen, folks, on fumes right now. The other thing that shocked me, and this is just my ignorance, you know, the XT5, the XT3, T4, and all that, they use the UHS-1 speeds, right, for SD cards. And the X100 uses the they use the UHS-2. I am tired. XT5, XT4, XT3, XS20, etc. use UHS-2 SD card speeds. However, this camera that was released today uses UHS-1, and it's slower. So your buffer fills up faster. It's not a big deal if you know about it, but when you have on your desk an XT5 and this camera and you're going, you know, it's a shock. It's a shock.
Right.
So just wanted to mention that. Face Eye Auto Detect is incredible.
Yes.
Incredible.
Good.
Better than XT5. I'll stand by that.
Dude, I love that. That's what I want to ask you about. Okay.
Better. It's better.
The AF is everything, right? And then
it is.
So one thing you have to manually select the subject to detect, or does it have an auto subject detect?
No. Oh, you're talking about for video or stills?
For stills, yeah.
No, it's auto. I believe it's auto. I never selected. It just went and did it. Like you put it in subject detection. And we just got a new dog, so it was perfect because we have this puppy that runs like a bullet. It's like, and so I was doing all kinds of tracking, wide and zone, and I mean, you name it, I did it. And yeah, when I put it in subject detection animal, it just did it. When I almost got hit by a car, but when I was on the side of the highway and these cars were whizzing by, I didn't touch a damn thing. I just put it in automobile subject detection, and it would do that, you know, that little rectangle go, it would follow the car. I mean, you don't have to touch it at all.
Good.
But
cool.
Where is that ISO? I just want to.
And you were talking about the video AF. AF is cranking?
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. Again, Face Eye Auto Detect. I'm still going through I shot probably 200 or 300 clips or something like that. I mean, and I have to still go through them. And the ones that I haven't fully gone through are the video autofocus tests. Right now I'm doing video quality. It shoots in 6.2K, but there is a slight crop. I don't know what that crop factor is. I couldn't get that answer yet. I got to find out. But there's a slight crop, but it's 6.2K with a slight crop. It also shoots in 4K, up to 60p. And it also has a feature that's 4K 60p, but it's HQ, high quality version. And what it does is the camera actually shoots in 6.2K and then downsamples it to 4K for you. And so I am going through the footage now, and you'll see which one looks better and all of that kind of thing. Okay, so yes, ISO performance in low light, all the way up to, I would say, 6400 was, I mean, perfect. It was great. It was better than I imagined, and I think it is as good as the T5. Above 6400, when you start to get into what I call the crapo areas, right? The 10,000, when it's like, I can't go any the shutter, I can't go any slower. And when you get to that high of an ISO value, the quality in low light was much better than the X-T5.
Cool.
But I have comparisons for you to see, and check it out yourself. The only thing I'm not going to share that I can't share are those raw files, because those are they're not officially raw files. They're so pre-production, right, that I can't use, I don't want some magazine or publication somewhere publishing that or getting a copy of it and going, this is the raw file, look at this, and it being the wrong raw file. So, but I will show them in the video, and how I did a whole dynamic range bit with showing that, and it does a very good job with dynamic range. The digital teleconverter is great.
I love that. I love that feature.
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome. The built-in HDR feature, not so good. You're better off pulling the raw files, sticking it into, post-production Lightroom and manipulating it with sliders. That HDR thing, it's just a gimmick. It's not worth using.
I don't usually use that.
Yeah. No, I know. I bet I went through like every single menu item. Yeah. So, and then I don't want to get into ergonomics now, but I love the ergonomics of it. It's different. Listen, I'm a flip screen kind of guy, right? I like to have that screen flip around. I don't like the tilt screens. In fact, it frustrates the hell out of me on the X-T5, because I'll be trying to set up a shot, and now I can't see what I can't see it. I got to now get an external monitor. It's a pain in the butt. Right. So I thought to myself, well, in fact, I almost didn't even want to get the camera sent to me. I almost turned them down because of that one reason. It's like, I don't want another tilt screen. Let's just say I'm a tilt screen fan. It converted me.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. The tilt screen comes out at a 45-degree angle down, right? Okay, so here's the camera. Okay, so use your mind. Pretend this is the new camera that was released today, even though it's a T5. So the tilt screen comes down it comes down like that, right? On the X100 it comes down 45 degrees, which is 15 degrees more than the X100V. So you have the ability to, like on this, you can't do it. It's like you cannot have it where you can hold the camera up and it be all the way flat like that. So you're looking up that. You can't do, but you can do it on this camera. It's great. I love the tilt screen on it. I really do.
Dude, I got to tell you, man, like the tilt screen is everything. Like when it outside of, if you want to video yourself, there's no reason for that flippy screen. So I love that. And that's one thing, like same thing, like I got my T5 right here. And, when I'm doing like any kind of portraits or what I use this a lot for is when I'm doing like concert photography and I got to get like a weird sort of angle.
Yeah.
I'm just digging this. So I really love that. I mean,
definitely.
But sure. When you have to record yourself like a content creator like us, it kind of sucks, right? But but outside of that, I never use the flippy screen is just a nuisance outside of.
I'm a tilt screen fan now. I've been converted. I see the light. Okay, and it was because of this camera.
Okay. So
okay. Here's my script. I'm reading it right from the script. And those of you who are regular viewers of this channel know that's a big statement, right? This was the very first tilt screen that didn't want to make me run screaming to my X-T4 flip around screen. Okay, here's what I said about this new camera. You can quickly get to both the high and the low angles, and it's a screen that should have photography first stamped right on it. That's what I think about it. That's what I think about it.
Dude, that's awesome.
Shutter. Mechanical shutter up to 1/4000th of a second. Electronic shutter. Okay. I am getting so tired right now. Electronic shutter up to 1/180,000th of a second. There is a shutter count section in the menu that shows your shutter count.
Okay.
But, and I'll go into this in the video, don't take it as gospel, right? It's kind of a rough guideline. Micro HDMI port, which, okay.
Yeah. You're used to that by now, right?
Anybody? Okay, let me look at the comments because I want to get to a few of those before I pass out. All right, let me see here. I'm going to roll back a ways. Okay. Yeah, Miles, see, this is a lot of filmmakers feel this way, and I do, right? Miles, you are awesome, my friend. Okay, just going through any questions here I can answer for everybody. Why are people talking about Apple? Let's see. X100V. Okay, the viewfinder. I don't want to go too much into it, but it's 3 separate categories of viewfinder. There is a switch, and so what you can do is you can have the regular electronic viewfinder a la what you have in an X-T5, right? You look through it and you see this type of thing. Then there is the optical viewfinder, right? Which has kind of an overlay on it. And then there is this hybrid thing that's really cool. And it's the only Fuji cam that does this, where you have that optical, but you also have picture-in-picture, which you can have in the corner, which will show you a choice of either focus check, right? Manual focus check, or you could have it play back what you just shot. So you could be looking through the viewfinder, take the shot, and see it played back without having to take your eye off the viewfinder. So there's that.
Cool.
And some other things that I can't remember. But all right, I think those are the things I wanted to cover. All right, let's see if there's any other questions. A lot of people came in late. Sorry. I was here on time, okay? And I'm running on, I'm not even on fumes anymore, so I am going to be dropping off in about 5 minutes. Let me just see if there's any other, I can just throw quick questions. Reala. Reala's wonderful. I love Reala Ace. I think it's become my favorite film sim now. That and Classic Chrome. And Pro Negative, too. I like that one. Video color check. I talked about that already. What? Oh, so I have this special light for Gear Iguana and it just went out. It's, it's time for night, right? So the light, the battery died. So that's just another reason I got to go soon. All right. B&H just went down. What? No, come on, Hector. That can't be true. That can't be true. Pete, talk a little bit louder. I'm getting some comments with some audio issues hearing you. Okay. I was hoping for a bigger grip. Yeah, the grip is not huge, but it feels fine. And listen, I love, these significant grips. I love them. I had no problem in fact, I love the ergonomics of this camera. So the grip is not a problem. I don't think it's too small at all. I think the grip on the X-T3 was too small, but not this camera. Okay, hold on. Yeah, silver. Everybody's ordering silver. Oh man, it was so hard to return.
If I get one, man, dude, I'm going with black. If I get one, 100%.
Black is nice. It's a nice. I mean, they're both nice, I'm sure, but the one I had was black. Okay. Come on, you guys. Got any questions here that I haven't answered yet? Good night. Good night. People are saying good night. Okay. So it's $200 more, I think, than the other one. And for what it's worth, now is probably a good time if your budget is an issue, to consider the X100V. That's a damn good camera.
Right.
Right. So don't forget about that. Does the wide angle converter affect the autofocus? Let me put the question up on the screen. I don't know, because I couldn't test that. That's a very good question. I would think it would a little bit, but I don't know. So somebody who sees this on YouTube, test that one, because I couldn't do it. 45 degrees, Jonathan. All right. Okay. Here's a good autofocus. How was the subject detection AF for video? Okay, so Jonathan, the question was asked, how is subject detection when shooting video? What I found with this camera was that it performed better if you didn't use subject detection, but instead used face eye detection. And what happens is when you put it in face eye detection, it takes it out of subject, and vice versa. So unless you're shooting cars or drones or birds, especially if you're shooting people, I would try it first in face eye, because I cannot recommend that enough. I have some footage that I'm going to show in the video where I'm running right at the camera, and it's the first time for any Fujifilm camera that I have ever tested for the channel where when I went into Lightroom to check the shots, every single one was in focus. Every single one of my eyes. I mean, running right at the camera. I was blown away by that. Now, there are some gotchas with the camera with autofocus when it comes to spot versus zone versus wide. And I had some shots come out completely blurry. And so it was a learning process, which is why I didn't want to just do a first look. If I'm going to talk about autofocus, if I can just say a couple of extra sentences, by the way, put it in da-da-da-da-da, I could save somebody hours of frustration. So that will be in the video if it's something that I think is important, which there was a few gotchas. And I think some of these things can be fixed in firmware updates, Pete. Okay. Any other questions? Last chance. Okay. By the way, good question, Jennifer. Good question. So when they sent me the camera, this was the question that was asked. Hold on. All right. So when Fuji sent the camera, it was expected that it was supposed to be a first look. I have a hard time doing first looks, but I said I'd do it, so I'm going to do it. But it's a long, comprehensive first look. But they also said, we realize that the time that you have this camera to test it is not a long time. And we will obviously be sending out units for more comprehensive reviews once the camera comes out. So I think, Jennifer and the rest of you, that yes, it will come back at some point, circle around. What I will probably do, because I think the video that is going to come out either tomorrow or at this point, it may be the next day. But once the video drops, I think that the next time I revisit this camera to do any kind of comprehensive review may be when it gets its first significant, like the first firmware update. Because honestly, I cover just about everything. So, you know, to go and do it all over again, there's so many other videos I want to make, you know, and I mean, I still have the GFX 102 video to do. Any other questions? Okay. You gotta rest, video. Okay. Pre-productions, battery. Oh, is the battery charge? Okay, here's a good question. Battery charge using USB-C to camera. Yes, it is. Absolutely. But pay attention to what kind of cable you're using. Not all USB-C cables are equal. Some are better at data transfer, some are better at power transfer. So if you're having trouble with it, the first troubleshooting step that I would recommend is to swap out the cable. Okay. And if you want, I can put a list of recommended cables. I should have that somewhere. I have like a gear area. I can put those up. Shoot me an email, send me like an Instagram DM or a YouTube comment. I don't know, not a YouTube comment. I won't even probably see it, but an email. My email address is on the channel. Send me an email or join Backstage, pal2tech.com/backstage. There's my plug, Pete. And you can join Discord there. And I do I respond, Pete? Probably not enough, but I do get on there a little bit.
You're very active in there. It's nice. Uncle Chris is in there all the time.
Uncle Chris, yeah. The memory card will be a problem because it's the slower card. Oh, yeah. I haven't written that portion of the review yet.
Is it considerably slower?
It's not okay. If you're expecting, GFX XT5 performance, you're going to find it slower. That it may break that for you, for sure. Particularly if you're shooting JPEG RAW and your RAWs are uncompressed or lossless compressed, because it's going to fill. It's going to fill. You put the camera to 11 shots a second, which you can do with RAWs, and yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't have the video right now to show you, but it's kind of like, full. Kind of, I mean, it's faster, a lot faster than the XT5, for sure.
Okay.
Just something to know. But I have a little video showing how long it takes for that, so you can see that. And please, by all means, please watch other YouTuber videos. I mean, like Omar or whomever. These guys, these people have forgotten more than I'll ever know, okay, about the art of photography and all that stuff. I just do kind of the geeky stuff. So please watch these other videos. You'll get such a great perspective of it. In the meantime, I really want to answer more questions. No, that's it, I think. Hold on. Charge and the charger, Yeah, okay, that's a good point. Jonathan says, I try to almost always use the cable that came with the camera to charge it. You can't go wrong doing that. You can't go wrong doing that. Yeah. Okay, so there was one thing, I'll just say, I've said a lot of good stuff about the camera, and I don't want to just be one-sided. So I'm going to tell you an ergonomic problem that I had with the camera, and then I'm going to go. Well, then I'll tell you one other nice thing, and then I'll go. So ergonomically, what I didn't like about the camera was that the SD card and the battery are both stored in the little housing area underneath at the bottom of the camera. Okay. Now on all the XT cameras, right, they're stored on the side of the camera, right? They're stored right on the side of the camera, but on the X106, they're stored at the bottom. All right. That for me was kind of a pain in the butt, because when I have a tripod mount on it, I have the camera on a tripod, and I need to change the SD card or I need to change the battery, I can't just open the side door and do it. I got to take the camera off. I got to take the tripod mount off, because they moved on the X106. They moved the tripod hole slightly forward compared to the X100V. So, and that's another thing. If you have accessories, you're going to have to buy new ones. So that was a pain. And if you have one of these things, okay, so let's say you're out shooting, you got the camera balanced on the gimbal, and suddenly you're shooting 6.2K video to the SD card. You're like, oh, I'm Federico Fellini getting shots. Great. You're out, you're shooting, you're not paying attention. And suddenly the card's filling up, right? Okay. On an XT5, what do, Pete? You just go, look at me, I'm cool. Dink, swap, dink, and you're done. Not so much on this camera, right? First, you got to take it off the gimbal. Now it's not balanced. You got to do that, fart around with that. You got to open the thing up, take the thing off, put the car. So that was something that was a little bit of all right. I see why they did that, but it was a pain. Right? Now, I am not the person at all that they're marketing this camera to. I don't think it's ever been on a gimbal. Maybe it has, but most photographers, they're going to go out in the street and use the flippy screen. They're not going to use this stupid thing. Okay. So please take what I'm saying as just a joke. All right.
Dude, I want one so I can throw it in the case, the giant case over my double base.
Wait, what? You want one of what?
I want an X106 so I can throw it in my case for my base, drive out to Queens or Brooklyn, play in a little bar, and document it.
Yeah, see, you are the perfect person for this camera. You're perfect.
It's really ideal.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely. The schmuck like me who's with the color charts and the gimbals, not so much perfect for this camera. I mean, I'm not the market for this camera. Okay, please, you got to understand that, because when I tell you what I think of it and I tell you the stuff that annoys me, it probably won't annoy you. Or if I say something that I'm really interested in, like, wow, focus map, check, most photographers don't care about video focus maps. So just keep that in mind.
Actually.
All right, so let me tell you something good about another good thing. I want to end on a positive, good note. Oh, yeah, IBIS. Let's revisit IBIS. Yes. You know what? Let's have some fun with this. Let me pull up Finder. I think I have my IBIS section in here. All right. Yeah, here it is. Haha. Okay. How do I do this? Okay, Pete, I'm going to drop you off for just a second. Desktop. Oh, it worked. Okay. All right. This shot here. Oh, I really need like you know what? Is this capture one in here? Hold on a second. I got an idea. I got a really good idea. I want to show you its IBIS performance with stills. I'm not going to show you video. I'll show you video in the video that comes out. But I'm going to end today showing you its IBIS performance at 6 stops with its 5-axis IBIS. Let me open up Capture One. That's what I was using. Okay. Can it open these raw files? Yes, it can. Okay. All right. So just got to find them. In fact, I'm just going through hundreds of these images. 1 second. Some of them are not I shot a lot of family stuff too, and I don't want like everything going on the live stream, but here, I'll pull this up. Right. Okay. What I'm going to do is pull just the straight out of camera JPEGs for you right now. Let me go back into this and back into the stream, back into the desktop. Okay. And this time I'm going to switch it over to C1. Okay. Can you all see that? I think you can. All right. Let's have a look at this. So we are at, I only had one Red Bull that day, so I wasn't too shaky. But I was holding the camera. Okay, when I took this shot at 40 megapixels, right? Holding the camera like this. I didn't hold the camera tight against me, and I wasn't trying to I didn't want to hold it as gently as I could. I wanted to see what IBIS would do if you weren't paying attention and you were just holding it normally. So I held the camera just like this. I did have my, like that, just like that. Wait, you can't see. I'm just showing you stuff and you guys can't even see it. I was holding it like this, just like this. Not tight and gently, but like that. So I'm holding it like that, all right? And basically at this shot right here, hold on a second. I think I've got a little, all right, I don't know if you can see it or not. This is at 1/30th of a second, handheld. Let me zoom in to 100%. Okay, sharp, really sharp. You see that? Can you all see that? I hope you can. But this is at 100%. Here we are at 200%. Look at that. That's pretty good. Wow. Okay, that's 1/30th of a second. I mean, right. I mean, that should be like that. Let's drop it to now 1/15th of a second. Okay. Again, looks really good. This is 1/15th of a second, handheld, and not even carefully handheld. Okay. Now let's drop it down to 1/8th of a second. I probably should have done a better job with exposure on this one. But even on that, I am zoomed in 200%, okay? Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit soft, but if I go back, here we are at 100%. This is handheld at 1/8th of a second. I'm going to drop it down again. Now we are at 1/4 of a second, okay? 1/4 of a second, zooming in to 200%. It is a little bit starting to get soft. You see that? Little bit. But it's pretty darn good. I mean, look at this. you can make out some of the detail on here. You see that right there and right there. Okay, so now let's go to half a second. Okay, this is half a second. Now, obviously, it's going to start to suck. First of all, I got the exposure all wrong. My apologies. But going in, look at this. Look at how you can still read this. I'm zoomed into 100%. Now I'm in at 200%. Have a look at this. You can still see. I mean, yeah, I know the exposure sucks. Look past it. But I'm saying from a blurred perspective, this is I mean, if you go to 100% and you had no other choice, you didn't have a tripod, this isn't bad. This is not bad for hand holding the camera at half of a second. That's pretty good. I mean, so I thought, great, and to be honest with you, I think if I had skipped the Red Bull, had a glass of water, if I had held the camera a little more carefully, and if I had held my breath when I took the shot and was a little more, I put it in the self timer 2 seconds instead of pressing on the button, and I did everything I could to be gentle, I think I could have gotten that figure down to 1 second. And it would have looked acceptable, not perfect, but acceptable. So yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, and you have no idea how much I want to go through all these images with you, but I can't. I gotta go to sleep. There's so much going on here. Depth of field. Okay, look at what you get with this lens at f2. Look at that. Okay, f2 on this lens. Okay.
Wow.
Here we are. This is here's f2.8. All right, zoomed into 100. If we go into 200, sharp, sharp, sharp. Look at these corners. Sharp, 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 sharp at f2.8. All right, if we drop it down to f2, look at how sharp that is at f2. Yes, there is some vignetting. You see that around the edges? f2 versus f2.8. f2 versus f2.8.
Right.
Okay, I gotta go. It has been wonderful doing this live stream tonight, and I wish that I could totally talk about this camera all night. If I do that, there will be no video, so I gotta go do the video. I'm gonna say goodbye to the audience here. 6.ibis. Okay, yeah, I'm not answering any more questions, folks. What I am gonna say, first of all, Pete, it was an honor to have you once again. Thank you so much for joining me. You're awesome, man. It was a lot of fun doing this summit.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun with everybody. Yeah.
The honor's mine, man. I love being with you, man. So thank you so much for having me.
We got to do Australia. We got to do Australia.
Yes, dude. Let's do
Patrick, you do a great job on that Fuji Rumors. I don't know what I'd do without Fuji Rumors. So Patrick, awesome job. Man, everybody, David, Miles, all the backstage folks, the rest of you, Ute, all of you. Thank you. It's been a great live stream. If you missed any bit of it, I will have this entire live stream rebroadcast as a regular video. So there you go. The next video from me when I become conscious again will be the first look at this new camera. So, in the meantime, if you found this helpful, give it the like and subscribe. Yes. And I will see you very soon. Good night, everyone. Take care.
Peace.